I have a very urgent prophetic word that is so strong in my spirit, and it has to do with cyber battle, cyber breaking loose, things that are taking place in that space. Back on September 16th, I woke up from resting, of course, and I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Many of you remember I went live and I began to say, man, I just woke up. And when I woke up, I had this sense that I was standing in Las Vegas, Nevada. And although I was still physically in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I was in Las Vegas, Nevada. And as that took place, I began to have a sudden prophetic word. And the Spirit of the Lord spoke to me and said, what is happening in Vegas will not remain in Vegas. And it had to do with online cyber battles, things like that. They were attacking areas that was happening right at that moment. I didn't even realize it. And many people said, oh, don't you know this is in the news right now? And I really didn't. And it began to get sufficed. It kind of went away. But the truth of the matter is what took place there is it began to, I heard the words, what is happening there will not stay there. Then, of course, I saw Israel and all that beginning to march. And 3 weeks later, they did that. And we prophesied that live in a real time. And now I'm seeing things that are coming in the news. And I began to look at this yesterday, today. I had friends sending me links. Pastor Todd sent me some stuff. I'm just looking at what's going on regarding the red dragon. And they're saying that they are now infiltrating our areas of communication online. Okay, and so I'm trying to say this carefully. And this urgency came up in my spirit because the Spirit of the Lord shared something with me regarding that. And I have a number of points I'm going to make here, and I really encourage you to repost this, to share this, and I'm going to share what I sense coming, okay? And now, as I'm saying this, many of you are about to get our text to join list, okay? You're going to get a message from us with the text that will come right to your cell phone. If you're not on our text to join list, now is the time to do it because of what I'm about to talk about. I encourage you, 719-719-3637, because where we're going is going to be very important, and you need to get on this list because of the type of thing they are literally launching right now, today. It's already in motion, and they're going to begin to blame the red dragon, okay? Now, here's what I saw. It's twofold. It is the red dragon by permission. Secondly, it is our own setting, our own seats of authority, allowing this and even pushing it because we're about to pick our leaders again in this coming cycle, and they're beginning to push this forward. And funny enough, the number one place that's going to get nailed first, they're saying, is Rumble. They're saying that is the first one that's getting hammered right now by this cyber issue. It's a false flag, all of it. And here's what I began to sense with this is that it's not just the red dragon. It is them also by permission, because when you see them open up the streets over on the West Coast and begin to do practically a parade for these type of situations, and they're bringing in the leader of the red dragon, and you've got the governor out there allowing him to come in, and they're celebrating it. There is alignments being made to shut down voices of liberty, and the Spirit of the Lord is saying unto me, we've got to prepare for this because there was a populist standing that took place in the last 3-4 years, actually about the last 8 years. And that populist standing is what began to happen. And that is how we had victory about 8 years ago. And in that victory, now they're saying, we'll never allow that again. We'll never allow it again. And how do we pull the wool over everybody's eyes? Well, we're going to do it by saying, oh, no, it's not us. It's the red dragon who actually a lot of us work for, including the Manchurian candidate in the highest seat in the territory, okay? So that is what's going on there. Now, let me say this to you. People are asking, well, what if we're outside the area and we can't get on the text to join list? You can download the Joseph Z app from your favorite app store, and we will have information available for you there. Even if you don't get the live notification, which you should if you get the app, you will be able to watch it right after that. And so that's something that's very important. Now, I'm going to get into this at a greater level. I saw a few words today. I'm going to share them with you. This is very impromptu, and I have a prophetic unction on me, so I'm going to do my best to begin to share and break this down. Now, I'm at the World Broadcast Center, and of course, I want to thank so many of you who are helping us with this to get it totally prepared for the coming year, and we're getting more and more traction on it. Like this is, of course, where we do a lot of our broadcasting in the mornings with all of you, and we will continue to do this. This is phase 1 of our studio setting. We're just beginning here, but let me share this word with you. This is really important. But listen, partners, friends, you have taken care of so much of this. We have all kinds of areas where you can view what's going on live and in real time while we're in studio. And I'm going to get more and more people in here that will begin to share truth with you in real time. But we've really got to take steps today. We need to take some very serious steps of protecting the ability to speak. I hope you understand me. And that is why I'm really encouraging you to do 2 things. Get on our text to join list because of what I sense coming, and it's coming quick now. They're going to begin to limit. They're going to begin to suppress. They're going to push things to the side. They're not going to allow people to really speak openly like they could even a little bit ago. For example, we had videos that were reaching 5 million views. Well beyond that, they were reaching almost 8 million right on Facebook, other platforms, individually going viral nearly every time we were going live. And I was watching the trend start to change, and we're still reaching a massive audience, and I'm so grateful to you for this. But I have to tell you, everybody that's out there saying things plainly is getting pushed down again. And I'm trying to use the right kind of words, right? They're pushing things down again so nobody can speak the way they were even just a couple months ago. And you can see this trend happening. And now they're beginning to torpedo and stop different platforms. And so I'm telling you right now, please get on this text to join list. If you're part of our tribe, if you're just interested in news, if you want to hear things and still be able to stay with us, I encourage you to get on this and join thousands of people that are doing it. But here's the word I begin to see also. I know it, yeah. So many friends are on here commenting, saying it's happening to us too. It's happening everywhere, and they're going to start to blame it on the red dragon. This is the word of the Lord I have. And the word I have in this is false flags. These are false flags, and they're going to begin to pressurize and suppress everything that they humanly can to stop anybody from dissenting or rising up. But I am here to tell you today that as we're doing this text thing, we're going to be able to curb some of this. So even if these platforms don't work, I'll be able to take you to some of our private ones we've built, our partners have built, with our own private servers. Now, if they ever crash the entire thing, the whole thing goes down, well, praise God, we're all praying and we're seeking God, but we have a last line of defense, and it is these servers, and we're working on it right now. So many of you have helped us build this, okay? So this is an outpost of broadcast, okay? It's a broadcast, an outpost for broadcasting. That is what God's called us to do. And here's the prophetic things I'm seeing right now. And I need to share a couple points with you because it's very important that I share this today. I was praying, and I began to see this. There's going to be defectors, okay? You ready? I saw this. I saw the word defectors are coming. You're going to see defectors that begin to expose, and they're going to release things that are going to be very, very serious. And the word also that I sensed when I woke up today and I was praying and interceding over all of you is propaganda. Propaganda is going to get so difficult to navigate for the average individual and even those that know what they're looking at. It's going to get very difficult. You're going to see it with maritime battles. You're going to see it with battles on the water. If you remember, I prophesied this. The Spirit of the Lord prophesied this with us, and I'm so grateful the Lord has shared things with us. I humbly retell you this because I saw this probably 1.5 years ago now about ships on the sea. And here's the big threat they're making right now, is that if they begin to, if we engage them, number one, if we engage the red dragon, they're saying that they are going to begin to go after all of the platforms. That's one of the big things that just broke loose. This is something we've been prophesying about. They say, if you engage us both on the sea, or if you engage us in different arenas, we are going to go after your platforms. And we've already, here's the word that they came out with. I'll show you these clips later, but right now I just have such an urgency. I'm just coming right at you raw. What they're saying is that they've already infiltrated our internet. They've already infiltrated many of our platforms. And they're saying, if you mess with us, we're going to begin to burn your clubhouse down, meaning with freedom of platforms. Specifically right now, they're already seeing issues even on Rumble. Okay, right now, you're seeing that. So that's what's happening there. But in this picture, I see ships at sea. There's a number of places. When I get to full disclosure, I'll really say this stuff plainly, or on the app soon. But what I'm seeing is these ships at sea, and they're saying, if you try to stop us, if you mess with us, we're going to do this. But remember this. Here's the word of the Lord in it with the red dragon. They're saying it's the red dragon, but remember, it's the red dragon by permission. It's by permission. In addition to it being by permission, they are also saying, or what I sense is being said by the Spirit, not just the red dragon by permission, it is also the fact that our own authority in the land is doing this themselves because they know we're coming into this time where we choose our leaders. Okay? Now, that being said, I see this word cyber. I saw it again this morning when I got up early and began to pray. The word cyber, cyber, cyber. And then I'm seeing a number of things that is taking place, and this is really vital. I saw a rise of two systems now, the two systems rising. I'm here on set, of course. The two systems rising, and as the two systems were rising, the Spirit of the Lord said, the old model, hear this word, okay? The old model will not survive. The old model's not going to survive. And that's why we've got to be innovative with how we're communicating right now. And I actually feel great encouragement in this. I believe that it's going to be a change. The Spirit of the Lord promised me that this is not the end. There's a lot more to do. But I saw this clearly, that the old model will not survive. The old model will not survive. And then I began to sense this two systems narrative, a collision of two systems, a collision where two systems begin to run into each other. And in these two systems, you're going to see the spirit of Babylon rising up, this Babylonian spirit. And then you're going to begin to see this. Now, here's what I saw back in 20. Okay, back in 20, we stood up and I began to see, and I wrote on this particular whiteboard right here, I wrote on this board that I saw Roe v. Wade being overturned, and there would be a favor that came after that. Like favor would flow, and it would be the Supreme Court doing it. Politically, it would be an earthquake, and that's what Brett Baer got on the news and said. Politically, this is an earthquake. I saw that, and then over the last 2 years, the Spirit of the Lord has been saying to me, there will be micro wins, micro victories that accumulate into a roar. Okay, that means small victories, small encouragements, until finally it accumulates into a roar. But this roar will come with war. Do you understand? I got to tell you this. The roar, the war, and 24, but I also see the words more. I'm going to try to break this down for you because you need to get this in your heart and in your spirit. Okay, hear me clearly. In 24, it's going to be the war, the roar, and more. But in this moment, I see ships going to sea. And here's the word, I don't want to say this, but I have to tell you this. It starts with I, dun, 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 and it ends with ran. Okay? All right? So let me get into this with you. I only am smiling and chuckling because of the seriousness of what I'm about to tell you. If we go to conflict with that nation and some of the nations surrounding them, there's the plans for the other studio we're building. If we go to conflict with them, I believe the word Decapolis comes to life. What do I mean by Decapolis? I'm talking about the 10 cities smoking at the same time. So we're going to start to see, number one, we're going to start to see this suppression, this difficulty with cyber, propaganda. Okay? Propaganda. And I could break down several parts of this propaganda word, but I'm just going to give you that as a bullet point. You're going to see that. Then you're going to begin to see more and more of this suppression, specifically on areas that refute what they want to suppress. They're going to begin to push that down. They're going to blame the red dragon. And the red dragon is at fault for some of it, but it's been done by permission of the Manchurian candidate that's running things from the ivory tower, if you get my meaning. In that narrative and in this picture, the Spirit of the Lord is also saying very clearly to me, you're going to begin to see propaganda, but you're going to see the word, and I keep hearing this word, watch now for the defectors. The defectors will come, and defectors will speak out against this wicked narrative. Defectors will come. And so I feel the power of God now. Join me in prayer right now. I sense the power of God right now. Join me in prayer because I sense the Spirit of the Lord saying, I will raise up defectors, not just whistleblowers. We're talking about full-blown defectors. Those that will stand against this nefarious, wicked, scummy agenda that's trying to suppress this nation. And I hear the Lord saying, he who sits in the heavens shall laugh. In the middle of it all, he will laugh and breakthrough will come, but at great, great cost. Now, if you've watched me for some time, you watched me draw this timeline where I saw the nation, this nation, beginning to cascade downward at 30, 60, and 100-fold. And there'd be a time of sorrow that lasted the night, and many things will involve darkness and power outages and cyber issues. This cyber thing is a sign we are going full tilt into WW3, but it's going to be a different form of battle than we've ever seen before. But the Lord is saying unto you, he's saying unto all of us, he is raising up defectors, not just whistleblowers. We've had that. I now see defectors on sides of the aisle that will say, I will not have this for my children. And the same way you're seeing it with the WEF and some of the sons that are over there. One of the sons of one of the main founders of that came out and he's saying, you know what? I took the Mark of the Beast precursor practice serum. I went down these roads. I believe this. And now I'm losing my very existence. My life is being extinguished because I obeyed and I listened to these guys. And he said, we've got to stop this in our lifetime. One of them, he's a defector. It's a precursor to what's going to come. We're going to see defectors, and more of them will come, and more of them will come because their own humanity, not even Christianity, but their own humanity will say, we got to stop this for the good of civilization. These wicked people, what are they doing? And they're going to start to wake up. You're going to see this in massive pushback. The intercession part that we have to have is on from a few points. And now listen to me. I hope you're hearing me because I'm full tilt prophesying to you right now. Number one, if we can see this through, we will see 45 back and we'll call him 47. If we can see this through. And I'm not holding out for any man, okay? But listen to me. If we see this through, I believe he gets back. If we don't pray, his life gets extinguished. Do you understand? If we don't pray, his life is extinguished. I believe that is where it'll go. That he will literally leave the planet, if you get my meaning. And we need to pray and we need to intercede over this because it is a very serious time. That being said, defectors will come, they will rise. And I believe that if we can see this through and we're interceding, we'll begin to see a uprising and a pressure against some of these characters. They are not as far down the road as we think they are. They're in full tilt play, but they are not as far down the road as we are led to believe they are. Now, you've got to hear me. This is so imperative. It's so urgent. And I want to thank you, partners, for being a part of this because we're building things with an urgency for this next year, a major urgency. I have an urgency in my spirit. I have an urgency with where we're going because if we don't begin to step up now and we don't begin to find creative ways to navigate where this is headed into the following year, many people will not even have a voice anymore. That is why I'm encouraging everybody to do this free platform I'm doing called Text to Join. It's free. There's no cost. Our partners are paying for it for you, and it's very costly. It's 719-719-3637. 719-719-3637. You text the keyword join to that number, and the reason it's serious is because if you're on that, we can communicate with you even if we're not here. And if you can't get that because you're outside the U.S., then download the Joseph Z app and we will be there every single day. You'll get announcements on there. You'll see live videos. And I'm going to keep going with so much what I see the Lord saying. And I'm going to have guests on that know what they're talking about regarding all this. Now, here's what I sense coming. I sense coming, not only do I see these defectors that will stand up and do this, but I also sense this. And by the way, don't fall for the scams out there. Go to josephz.com. If you want to partner here, you want to be a part of this, and we call you every month and we're standing with you, josephz.com. But let me talk about the defectors. The defectors that are coming are going to begin to rise, and they're going to begin to say no more of this, and they're going to push back. I sense this in Jesus' name. There's been a great deception over the body of Christ with misinformation, with false narratives, with a lot of hopium, right? A lot of hope. People are all hopped up on hope in the wrong data. We need to get our hopes up with the right data. With the right data. What am I talking about? There's a great hope rising. I do see strength where we can break through in the coming season, but you've got to listen to me. Please hear me, okay? Hear Jesus. Hear the Word of God first. You read your Bible. But I'm here to tell you what I sense. People are asking what the number is again. It's 719-719-3637. And I realize that they're even giving us a hard time posting things on here. 719-719-3637. And you text that number with the keyword join. And you'll be on there. And I encourage you to do that, okay? It is imperative. Very serious. And if you want to partner with us, I say this because I want you to get away from all the craziness. Go to josephz.com, and that is all the information is there. Go to josephz.com. I encourage you to go through the steps to do it because we're going to take this fight against this wicked tidal wave that's trying to come. I am going to take it to them. We're going to take it to them through media, and we're going to continue broadcasting. I'm called to raise up 1 million clear-eyed, clear-minded reformers to go win 1 billion. I want to make God rich by winning 1 billion into the kingdom. 1 billion. 1 million for 1 billion. Help us do that, man. Go to josephz.com. But let me continue. I gotta share this urgency with you. This is really urgent. Man, this is urgent. Hallelujah. Defectors. I see the plot going to be revealed, and I see a supernatural intervention, but we've got to pray or we could miss this. A supernatural intervention to stop the assault against the very life of 45. That's what they want to do. Then I see the nation that starts with I, and then it goes and ends with ran. That if we begin to mess with that, there's going to be several cities smoking like a birthday cake with candles. Because they're here. Do I sense hope in this? Major hope. Do I think we can win? Majorly. Are we going to see outages? Are we going to see darkness? Are we going to see water impacted? Are we going to see battle at sea? Yes, yes, yes. Are we going to see misinformation and propaganda like we've never seen before? Yes. Are we going to see so much of this wild stuff going on? Are they going to continue to say, no, don't worry, everything's going to turn out for the good because there's a secret plan at hand? I have to tell you, the secret plan is you. Even now, so I woke up today. I'm going to try to share this and release what I'm trying to release what I got to tell you. What I sensed early this morning was such an urgency. It was different in the air today than it was even yesterday and the day before. Something is going on in the media. Something is going on all over the nation. Something is going on with the net, so to speak. Something is going on these social media platforms. Multiple. And they're going to, wouldn't you know it, they're going to really begin to push down on the ones that really speak truth. And what I sense happening is they're going to suppress and push and put people into a very difficult place. But I heard the word of the Lord say, he promised me that there would be another time of freedom tech that would come. And the second round of freedom tech would manifest, and it would be mighty. It would be a mighty freedom tech. I believe that we're a forerunner of that. I believe that we represent a changing of the guard. I believe many people like us with freedom platforms are going to begin to represent a changing of the guard. And this is the word of the Lord. There is a changing of the season, a changing of the guard, a changing of the garments, a changing of the voices. And as this begins to happen, there's been a predicated relay. There's been a predicated lead up to where we're headed. And now the Lord is saying there's going to be so much strength that he begins to bring you, that it's going to begin to manifest like never before. But it's got to be creative now. We got to be wise as serpents, gentle as doves, and begin to do what God's called us to do. And I sense a new form of media coming and a new media alliance coming. I sense the Spirit of the Lord saying, I will break out and I will surprise the suppressors. I'm going to surprise the suppressors. I'm going to break many people through. I'm going to turn them around. It's going to begin to happen. And I sense this, man. I sense an anointing on me right now for you. For you. It's not about me. It's about you. I sense the Spirit of the Lord coming to your house. He's beginning to visit your family. He's beginning to visit people in government. And these propaganda pushers are going to find that they don't have the juice they once had, and they're going to try and try and try. But I sense this coming. Now, this year is going to be brutal. There's going to be brutal things. There's going to be challenges. They're going to try to shake things up. It's going to be a mighty, mighty time of difficulty. But in this same thing, there is the word defectors, and defectors will begin to stand with power. Get ready for freedom tech. Get ready for freedom media. Get ready to hear things like you've not heard it before. But here's the thing we got to pray about. People's lives now are literally on the line. And the reason I'm pushing this now, and I'm saying this so strongly now, is because I woke up today and it was so in the air. When I sense these things of my goodness, it is a serious time and it's in the air. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about these, they're going to blame the red dragon and say it's them, and it is, but it's by permission. Just like the balloons when they came over, permission. And most of the things we're seeing right now are not what they seem. But it's the war, the roar, and more. And here is the word you need to know. More is going to happen to those who've been faithful and bold. More is coming for you. More is going to begin to cut down the false flags. More is going to open up the door. I know Lance even prophesied the open door, and I sense that as well. The more is coming. And what is more? It's Isaiah 10:27. It's what I've prophesied to you for about 5 years, that the anointing will outgrow the yoke, but it's in 3 phases. It lifts off the shoulder, then it loosens at the neck, and then it's destroyed 30, 60, and 100-fold. And I believe that's coming. And many people that have been persecuted, you've been an outcast, you're going to be turned into a broadcast, like us maybe with a podcast. But God's called you in a mighty way. And this is the time where you don't shrink back, you get clear-eyed, you get clear-minded, you get in that Bible, you begin to build your faith, and you begin to lean back against the wicked oppression of what's going on in the culture. They are after your children, they are after your future, they are after what's going on. But the Lord God is a sun and shield, and the Lord bestows favor, and no good thing will he withhold from them who walk uprightly before him. I'm telling you, when you see the sign of the collision at sea, when you see the sign of collision at sea, Following that will be this suppression of voices and a suppression of media, and they're going to say it is because of a response of what's happening. They're going to say, we warned you, we told you, but really it's the people in the highest offices with their hand on the wheel allowing this to come on the land because they want to shut you up so they can get their agenda done, and they're going to blame the red dragon and they're going to blame these others, and they've also allowed, because they can't even they know that they can't win, so they got to let all these perpetrators and wicked characters come right across our boundaries and begin to act on this ground. And that's that word Decapolis. I see it coming. I see it coming. And we've got to continue to pray and hold back against it. That is why we're here. That is why I'm building this. I'm not doing this because we just want to have a studio and do these things. We are going to begin to have more clear-eyed, clear-minded conversation, prophetic conversation right from here. And it is partnership that has allowed that to happen. And listen to me. We need your help. I encourage you to go to josephz.com. Partner today. We need your help with whatever you can do, as much as you can do, because we are going to bring this fight to their doorstep through information, through prophetic revelation. I am encouraging you to join us today. If you're not part of this, we will contact you. When you do, we're going to reach out to you, josephz.com. Please join us. You can text the keyword GIVE to 719-259-0029, and you don't have to be afraid of the darkness. We don't have to be afraid of this thug, demon, intimidating spirit, because truth always overcomes. And that is why I'm so motivated, because I believe together, as we join, we can push this stuff back. We can push it back. But I need your help. There's many people like me that need your help. Ministries that need your help. Truth speakers that need your help. Need your help. Your prayers, your agreement, and if you can partner, praise God. If you can partner, I encourage you to do it today. josephz.com. And we're going to continue to press against this hard. So we're going to strike down these false flags. And listen to me. Here's a word for you. Here's the prophetic word for you. To those who are bold, they will break out. To those that are full of faith, they will rise up. To those that are strong in the Lord, evil can't touch you. On a bad day, you are anointed to be the best there is. Now, I do have more to get into this week as I'm going through this process, but I need to unload this because I felt that this suppression was coming. It's already been released. You're going to see it today. You're going to see it more and more throughout the weeks ahead, the days ahead. And so please get on our text to join list. These things are free to you. We don't charge for anything. Our partners pay for this. And I'm so thankful. If you're a partner here, thank you. If you've been a partner for a long time, thank you. If you're joining us today, please comment, partnering today. If you comment on here, partnering today, we want to welcome you. Our team will call you every month, pray with you personally every month if you partner here. It's our team, and we're standing with you. Please consider doing this. If you haven't done it, if you're on the fence, I am encouraging you to do it because we have a lot of ground to take and a lot of places we need to be to speak this in media and everywhere we can. And you're helping us do it at josephz.com. Jesus is Lord. On a bad day, you're anointed to be the very best there is. We're going to rise up again. Don't be afraid. We're still here. We're all here together. We're still standing on this ground. We're still breathing. We're still talking. That means we got a great opportunity to push back against this wicked agenda. Jesus is Lord. I really encourage you, if you can do that, and you can stand with us, you can sow. If you want to help us get this building paid off by the end of the year, that'd be great. I think we're just at about 700 left on it that we need to knock out. And if you want to sow towards that, you just partner. You go to josephz.com, become a partner, and please consider helping us do this. This is just one small phase one of what we're going to do. And thank you. People are saying, I've partnered for years. Thank you so much. We love you. And if you become a partner today, please tell us so people can thank you on the broadcast. We're only going to take more ground. The more you sow, the more we go. I bless you in Jesus' name. Thank you for everything. I will be back again very, very soon. Please share this everywhere. Let's get the word out, and we got more to do. And don't forget to get on this totally free Joseph Z app at your favorite app store. Download it today. Don't forget to get on the text to join list, 719-719-3637. I'm telling you, breakthrough will come. I got a lot more to get into with you. It's going to be important. And I said a lot of things in here. You need to go back and listen to this because there's prophetic truth in this. And I had to say it a certain way because of what's going on. I love you guys. I'll be back again very soon. Jesus is Lord. More prophecy, more clarity, a lot more coming soon. Thank you, and thank you, partners. And if you're a brand new partner today, thank you. josephz.com. I love you. See you tomorrow.